What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. And happy Saturday to everyone. I pray that all my people are well. I pray for us all the time, everybody. My love for my people is so real and complete and organic and passionate and fierce. And I pray for all of us. I pray for you. I love you all. You have to know that. You have to know that. I also want to apologize for any of my people who have my phone number and we text and call. I try to make a mental note to remember to send out a mass text to you guys all before I go live. I didn't remember. I apologize. So if you're here or if you see it later, that's my apology. And I'll try to remember in the future. Yeah. Maybe if I kept notes, that would be one of the notes that I would make for myself. But I don't keep notes. But at least I can make a bullet of it, you know. I think I want to begin by first saying that I mentioned last time in one of my last two videos, I began to speak about Brianna Taylor, but somehow I got off. I mentioned there was a new video because somebody said back to me that they didn't know there was another video. And I said, yeah, you know, they're in the house and we saw her body and they're just kind of stepping over, and one of the white devil murderers, one of the white devil savage beast murderers said she's done. And then they just went on like it was just a procedure and it was just nothing, and our sister was laying there dead. And I would even speculate probably still bleeding out. Maybe she wasn't completely dead yet. And as Muslims, we know more about consciousness after death than people that are not Muslim. The scientific community is now catching up to what we've known for nearly 1,500 years. That just because there's no more brain activity on their current instruments doesn't mean you're dead. So we go for activity for the brain stem. I shared with you that there was a doctor. I had shared that information with you before, and then I said to you there was a doctor that was on Dr. Oz, that his purpose for being there, the topic was about consciousness, human consciousness, and he was saying that we realized that we don't know everything we thought we knew about human consciousness. Dr. Oz had a dummy there with a mechanical heart in it, and up on the screen they had the EKG going, blip, blip, blip. And as they were having their discussion about it, then Dr. Oz said, so if I do this, and he turned the switch off and it flatlined. He said, so you're telling me that clinically we usually declare that person dead there. You know, we may try and resuscitate them, but there's no more activity and so we're done. And he said, you're saying we could be completely wrong about that they're not even dead. And the guy said, yeah, well, we've known this for nearly 1,500 years. We've known this. And even the divine says to mankind that when you are in the grave, you will hear those who are at your grave walking away from your grave. This is why Allah, the women are allowed to the grave, but they really should stay back. It's more advised that they stay back because they're more prone to wailing is the word that is used. And we don't want that on the deceased because they can hear you. And our funerals are focused on reaping prayers upon that person and just all of that. There's no testimonials about the things they did in their life and all of that. It's, and you know, a bunch of people getting up and speaking and eulogizing you. It's very holy and it's all about the soul. I just mentioned that to say that to buttress my claim that I'm making, that indeed our sister may not have been dead already. You know, she may have been unconscious, and certainly we know she was fatally wounded, but that doesn't mean she was dead yet. And we know they offered no medical help to her for at least 20 minutes, at the very least. But why I mention it again is because I realized I wasn't thorough in my sharing with you the latest on that. Because indeed, Kenneth Walker gave interviews to Gail Goddammit King. We still hate her, but we always take truth wherever it comes from. So Gail is still dead to us. She's dead to us, all right, with her Springer Spoodle hair. But this interview was a really good interview. It was fair and it was illustrative. Kenneth was also gave me something else. I observed this about black men anyway, but this kind of really brought it home for me. You know, we as a people go through so much trauma that it's unequaled. There's no other peoples on the earth that are struggling the way we are struggling. There is nobody. And I challenge anybody to step up with their resume, and we will quickly set you down and dismiss you back to the dust from which you came. But his demeanor with all of this that went on with him was still calm and matter of fact. This is dangerous. It's dangerous because it's a pattern. We see this more often. We don't really see anybody kirking off. You understand? Like we say back east, kirk off. We don't see nobody kirking. And he should have been kirking off with everything that he had to say. But he wasn't. And I read that, I questioned myself. Is this defeat, not just for him, but us as a people? Is this defeat? Is this individual to him as an individual? I say not, but it can be both in his case. It can still be a pattern, and it can still be individual to him. And it's, because this is the first time he went through something this traumatic. He even said that this was the first time he ever even discharged his gun, other than on the firing range. He hadn't used it. And he wasn't even sure. Nobody has proven to him and his lawyers that his bullet even struck the white devil cop that we're sad didn't die from his gun wound. All right? We're not sure. There's also video of them retrieving a 9mm casing, and they identify it, and then later it disappears very mysteriously, of course. What I found most profound is that he said, and I knew this the last time we spoke, I just, like I said, didn't go far enough, but he said that this proved that they were lying, because as again, I prescribe and say and proclaim and know to be the truth from my own experience on the earth, that if white people are breathing, if they have a pulse, they are lying. That you have to know that. You have to know that. You have to know that. And so, proving that they were lying was the 911 call and everybody else that called. Everybody else that called was saying, they're shooting over here, send the police. He was calling, saying, somebody is at our door. Somebody's at our door shooting. We don't know who it is. He was calling for the police. Can you please send the ambulance and police? Why would you be calling the police on the police if they had announced that they were the police? You wouldn't. So that proves that they are lying, which we knew that already. Sadly, we have to always bring evidence to show their lies before we even believe, because their lie is usually the thing that's considered gospel and was on the tablets that Moses brought down from Sinai. Allahu Akbar. And so we always have to prove their lie. They just say it, and then that's supposed to be gospel unless somebody can bring something and tear that down. I'm sick of that. We know that when he came out of the apartment, when they were calling him out of the apartment, because mind you, they did all this barrage of shooting, and then they never came in. They just shot into the apartment and never came in after they kicked the door in. They never came in until much later. And so when they're calling him out of the house, he's thinking, they're here because I called them to come for these people that were shooting. He still doesn't know these are the fuckers that were shooting. He doesn't know. He does not know. And he recounts that when he's put into the cruiser and he's being taken to jail, they pull over, like down the street someplace. And then some other white devil cop shows up. And he said that his tone was vastly different than everybody else's tone. Because when he first came out of the apartment and he backed up, when they were yelling back up and keep your hands up and all the other nonsense they yell. I need them to go through this terror. I just need every white person in this country to go through that shit. Like 50 black men just break into your house screaming, flashing lights at you, ordering you to do shit, no explanations, no anything, calling you names and telling you shit to do. Because I'm a firm believer that you do unto others as they do unto you, and they don't do the shit no more. Why we get no result is because we're not doing the same shit to white people when we have an opportunity. That's real. Today is the 52nd anniversary of Tommy Smith and John Carlos, or yesterday was the anniversary of when they stood at the Olympics in Mexico City with their one glove in the air, and they took their shoes off. And John Carlos was saying that what we were protesting then is what they are protesting now. He was speaking of it in a nostalgic way, really, as an observation, almost third party, to say, he wasn't really criticizing it. He was just identifying. But that's what pissed me off, because it goes to what I say. Why his story and what they did 52 years ago is exactly what we're doing now, is because white people are still evil, and we still have not unleashed all hell on their ass. That's why. I don't care who doesn't like it. That's going to be the fucking truth, whether I proclaim it or not. That's our central issue. We are not a violent people, thank God. But we have to know when to be violent. We have to know when to put a stop to shit. And sometimes the only way that you squelch and do away with attack is to attack back. That's the reason why we're in the predicament we're in right now. And then you can get to everything else. That is the reason, everybody. You have to understand that, because it's going to be the truth whether you accept it or not. That is the truth. That's the truth. I just spoke it. That's the truth. You heard it. That's it. That's it. So he was saying that what they were protesting is exactly what's going on now, and he was glad to see it and all that. Obviously, he would speak from that point of view because he was and is in the struggle, and to see that sort of carried on, to see young people doing it and blah blah blah. I get it, but still, both things can exist in the same place. That can all be fine, and he can be nostalgic and observatory, and I can still be pissed about it, while identifying the reason why it's happening. That's the reason. That's the reason. Listen, you don't need to even hear me say it. It doesn't have to be this case. Everybody knows that when you don't discipline children, they get out of hand. You can even start at that level. You just start there. Kids that are not disciplined are the worst kids ever known to humanity. That's it. That's it. That's it. Worst kids ever. It's the kids that are disciplined when there's a consequence. You understand? Anything that you do, if you know there's a consequence for it, you're less inclined to do that, no matter what it is. If it's just go to the bathroom and there's no toilet paper, oh man, there's no toilet paper, so there's a consequence. Because I'm going to use the bathroom and I got no toilet paper. There's a consequence. So you're less inclined to use the bathroom. We can even go that basic. So you don't need a rocket scientist or some laureate to tell you that white people will continue their bullshit against us until we fucking strike back on their ass. Systematically and in a unified way. And consistently. That's what's real. That's what's real. When will that day happen? Will it happen? I don't know. I pray for it. It's one of my many constant prayers to the divine. One of my many constant prayers. Constant. But Kenny said that when they pulled over and this other white devil comes up, his tone was different than everybody else's. And by the way, when he was backing up, when one of the fucker that came up to handcuff him asked him, was he hit? Had he been hit? And he said no. And the white devil said, oh, that's unfortunate. And then we hear Kenny on the video saying, what's going on? And then the white devil says, you're going to fucking prison. That's what's going on. You see? All this badass shit. This is the devil, everybody. I don't care who doesn't like it, because it's going to be the truth whether I say it or not, whether I'm on my grave or if I'm floating in the goddamn sky. That is the truth. The white man is the devil. period. And their whole system is designed around that. Now, for all of you Negro types who may want to proclaim, well, you can't say all of them are bad. Well, I haven't seen any good ones. And I'm still right, even if I don't see any good ones, because even if you see so-called good ones, like I've seen snakes that never bit me. I've seen dogs that didn't bite me. I saw cats that never scratched me. But we all know all those animals that I just described have a propensity for attack. They're still an animal. You may see a bird that never takes to flight, but it's got wings. It can fly. You just never saw it. You see? So this is what we have to understand, because when we speak about things improperly, that's where we get into issue. I'm going to come back to that. So when this guy comes up to the cruiser now, and Kenny's in the back, his tone is different. Giving Kenneth his first inclination that there was something wrong. Because this guy was articulating that, yeah, it seems to be some sort of mistake or a mix-up. I'm not sure the language that was used there. I don't know if the word was mix-up, mistake, or a misunderstanding. It was one of those words that was articulated to him as he sat in the back of this cruiser. Then when they get him to the police station, he's unhandcuffed and he's allowed to just roam around. He can use the bathroom and all this. He knew, like, oh, they've realized somebody made a mistake. He's still not really clear that they're the ones that shot up the place, and he doesn't know Brianna is dead yet. They never articulate that to him. In fact, he says to Gayle King that he doesn't find that out until he finds out on television, like everybody else. When he heard there in the police station that there was a female victim that was dead. That's when he knew. That's when he knew. That's when he knew. And here they wanted to charge him with attempted murder on this white devil who had burst into his house, when under their law that they write, you have absolutely every right to defend your castle. But when it comes to us, they will say, no, we announced ourselves. In other words, you have now acquiesced your right to defend your castle because they announced. Fuck that. They could be 50 of them outside my house right now yelling their police, and I will just fucking start shooting through the walls. Because why not? Because they're going to react the same as if I didn't. And that's essentially what they were trying to do to him. But he's got some pretty good lawyers, you know. Even the white devil lawyer that he has, he's in it for money. Obviously, he can't be passionate and really give a fuck because he's not a black person. So we'll allow for the theatrics and the fakery. But alas, he seems to be a good litigator and a good lawyer. So I am hopeful for Kenneth in that regard, you know. And so he's probably getting up with a whole lot of millions. You know, again, you guys are the worst, man. I haven't even done anything, and it's saying battery temperature too high, and now it's shutting down. It's y'all. It's y'all. It's not me. It's y'all. I wish I could do something. I can't. I don't understand. So, they've lied. We knew that from the beginning, but I'm just trying to clarify the lies, really. You know, it's a feeble exercise, really. But I thought it important to go back over that because it was so striking to me. And him speaking, and he was defiant also, like, sort of like his whole body language and look on his face was like bullshit. Pretty much the whole time. I appreciated that. That's necessary. You know, that's necessary. We have got to start showing resistance. That's the only word I got right now. But to the bigger point, because this is what I'm about to say now is what really brought me to, okay, I really do need to speak about this, because I knew about this contract with Black America, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, maybe. My sense of time is always off. But somewhere in that time frame I feel is accurate. And that was fine, and it was fine, and okay, whatever. And I feel like I then went and looked at it or something. I don't know. I didn't get to it some kind of way. But here's what got me, because it echoes what I say so passionately and consistently. I say we have to be over. First of all, we're over white people. That's first. Anybody that's a so-called ally, that's fine. You can be an ally without being in my face. Like people can anonymously donate to your fucking GoFundMe, or they can anonymously send you a letter, or they can you can be anonymous and shit. So you can be anonymous with that too. If you really give a fuck, then go do and really be really hammering it out and grinding on our behalf. Because their white asses only show up when our shit hits the fan and we're now reacting. Now here they come. I'm over that. I'm just over that. I articulate, because I always say how you think and speak is how you really react. If you think you need white friends, then you're fucked up. If they think they need black friends, they're fucked up. You don't need to be my friend or even know my name in order to fucking respect me as a king. You don't need to. So all this, you got to get you some black friends and you got to get around black people, fuck that. You don't need to, because then essentially you're still putting the burden on us. Now you got to be around us. So if we're over-educating you and over-tolerating you and over, now you have to be with us and shit. Fuck that. The key to our liberation, one of the many doors and the keys to our success and liberation, is we have to be over these people, literally and physically, like just out the fuck out of our life. That's what's real, everybody. We have to understand this, because everybody, white and black, are wringing their hands and we just don't know what the answer is and we just wish we knew. I know the fucking answer. I know what it is. I know what it is. But the answer requires us to not give a fuck about them. And they don't like that, because they're so fragile. And why doesn't nobody care about me? And I want to be involved and I want to be in your business and everything. And fuck all of that. It has to be about us. And that's what brings me to this. Because Ice Cube said it in clear language. I saw other interviews with him. But here he was talking to this Chris Cuomo dude. Maybe he had said it before and I just didn't hear it. And why did I just get water? Did it fall on my beard? That wasn't saliva. It's not raining. I don't know what's going on. Anyways. He was talking to this Chris Cuomo person. And he said, because I also felt the urgency to speak, because I need to defend Ice Cube, because I understand that there's some dust up now that he is getting, because the impression is being given that he supports Trump or wants to work with Trump in some kind of way, and none of that's true. It's just not true. It's not true. It's not true. And I know how fragile my people can be. So you've seen me over the years when we have some issue that pops up, and I know my people are just going to run away with it. I exist as the voice to say, whoa, to my people, and then to try to insert truth and light into that. Do you understand? Just like I did most recently with the NFAC. Because I see my people running away, and I'm here to say, whoa, wait, not so much. This is that. So Ice Cube is not about that. But here's what he said that was everything to me. Because I've said to you, we are over white people. We have to be over giving a fuck about what happens to these alphabet-ass people. All of them, quite frankly. If you're an African alphabet, then you need to choose. I'm an African or an alphabet. If you're an alphabet, then take your shit over there and fight whatever cause you feel like you need to fight for. We do not have time. We don't have time. If you want to identify yourself as an African, bring your shit and we got you. We're not concerned about people of color and brown people and shit, because I'm a beautiful brown. Behold what is in front of you. I am the brown. This scarf that I wear is black. There's no place on the globe called black. Do you understand? But I am a brown African. Beautiful indeed. Do you understand? So we're over this brown shit. Everybody needs to fight their own shit. Stop latching onto us like leeches and bloodsuckers and shit. Go and fight your own shit. Go get your own laws. Get your own hoses turned on you. Have your own dogs chase you down the street. Have your own batons beat the shit out of you. And your own lynchings and shit. We have to put up a gate and say, your suffering is not fucking represented in this fucking place. It's just not. Take that shit down the hall. And what Ice Cube said so clearly and specifically to this Chris Cuomo person was he said, you know, we're not playing no more games. You know, we're not concerned about just what I just said to you. I was like, say that again, and I DVR'd it back. Like, go back and say that again. I had to hear that. I had to hear it because it was greater than everything for me. Yes, say that. He was letting everybody know we're concerned only about black people. That's it. And then he went to the descendants of slaves. I'm not going to really get him for that because I've been through that argument when this ADOS first even popped up. I object to anyone who says, well, they shouldn't get anything, like when the whole topic was up about reparations. You know, then our people started dividing, you know, well, it's just for the people that's descendants of slaves, and the people that come here as immigrants, they shouldn't get nothing. And it's like, listen, if you got this, goddammit, you get a fucking check as far as I'm concerned. Because they're not just fucking over us here in this asshole of the devil, this throne of evil, center of disobedience and blasphemy, but they are raping and disrespecting and indeed chemically attacking with medicine and all kinds of other things our mother home. We can't allow this. We can't allow this. The same white devil that had us in chains here is the same white devil that put our brothers and sisters on the islands in debt for many decades. Do you understand? Because after slavery was allegedly over, then the slave owners have to be compensated now because they're not going to have slaves now. They just won't have any money, so we have to compensate them. And then they tax the fuck out of them and put debt on them forever and ever and ever. So we need to understand, this is about all people that look just like us, not this people of color bullshit. I love people from India. God bless you. I love my Latino brothers and sisters. I speak your damn language. Fuck them too. I love my Arab brothers and sisters. Take your shit. I love everybody else. I do. No problem. And have empathy for any of your said struggle and strife. But we don't have time. We don't. This is a family issue. So the requisite for family is A, you have to have had the exact same experience that we've had in this bitch and around the earth. You have to have, that's the requisite to get in. Show me your middle passage and you can come on in. Show me your middle passage. I'm happy to listen. Show me your middle passage and we'll just wave you right in. There's a little wristband that goes with it. It might be a $5 cover, but show me your middle passage, you just come on in. Just come on in. All right, you don't have a middle passage? All right, I'm sure you've got a lynching as a backup. All right, bring that on. No lynching, no middle passage. All right, maybe you've got your names were stolen. Could you get that? That'll get you in. No, still no? Oh, man, I'm sure I can get you in. Oh, here's one. Maybe your religion is no longer intact. Damn it. All right, that won't get you. All right, okay, this now I know you'll get in. Your language was stolen. Still no? All right. What? I don't know if we can get you in. Do you understand what I'm telling you? You don't have the requisite. So let us stop buying into this all people's suffrage is now under just one umbrella and shit. Because that is just a masterful evil by this white devil to abdicate their responsibility and indeed their debt to us as a people across the earth. They fucking owe us their entire lives. You understand? That's really the only way they could really pay us is in blood. But we'll allow something else. Do you understand? We'll allow. You understand? And maybe not so much because they keep fucking with us every goddamn day. So what is our wit's end? And every time we're just supposed to stand and take it. Every single time we're just supposed to take it. Meanwhile, their mascot of evil won't even agree to accepting the results of an election if it doesn't go the way he wants. You understand? They want Roe v. Wade gone. So you see all the moves that they do. You've got people in states that are putting up illegal ballot boxes, and they're denying, they're doing voter suppression. And I mean, you have one bitch that changed some. I mean, I'm just trying to show you, they just do anything to get what they want. Yet we do nothing to defend the shit that we should just be even defending before we can get to what we want. We're not even defending our fucking life. Fuck peace is what I'm trying to tell you. Fuck that, man. It's time for all-out fucking revenge when we are provoked. I'm clear to say that because I tell you, the divine has already given us our license and our right. We're never to be the aggressor, and we never have been. Show me one African nation that's striking on anybody. I'll just wait for it. I'm sure there's an African nation that's causing mayhem on all the earth to all humanity, and we have to find it. Where is it? Name it for me. You don't have any African nations striking on any fucking body. Sadly, you don't even have black politicians in this bitch doing radical legislation and shit for us. You don't have it. Yet they will write some shit in a heartbeat and claim it to be the law and defend that shit. You understand? The white devil stood right there on TV and is telling his people to go out to the fucking polls with guns and shit, and just make sure you're watching what's going on at the election booth. And they say it like it's just all, it's the same shit as I'm saying. If I was to say, look, motherfuckers, y'all get you some AK-47s, some MR-15s, and you take your shit and you fucking blow these white devils' heads off when you see them approach the ballot box, everybody would have a problem if I said that. But that's the exact equivalent of what this white devil is saying. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to be over this double standard shit too. What's good for the goose shall be good for the gander. It shall be. It shall be. It shall. And you look up that definition of shall under legal language, you understand what I'm talking about. You understand? Because may and shall are two different legal terms. Hear me. So, I'm trying to say they will do anything to forward their petty desires or needs or real needs. But we're being assassinated and our population is being dwindled away slowly, slowly, slowly. And we're supposed to do absolutely nothing. Fuck that. I'm over it. I'm not even convinced by this whole Roe v. Wade argument, because it seems if you want to outlaw abortion, that means more black babies are going to be born. I can stroke out twins right now. It's nothing. But your bitch ass can't even get an autistic child. So what are we dealing with here? We have to understand and always question motive when you're dealing with this devil, because we know their intent is always nothing that is close to righteousness and godly. It's always evil. That's what it is. It begins at that point. So it must be questioned. So why do they want this Roe v. Wade gone so bad? They think that there's too many white women having abortions and they're just trying to get their numbers up. But if your numbers go up, ours quadruple up. So you still behind. So what's your issue with Roe v. Wade? Just not really understanding. Not really understanding. So is it just a political red herring just to have something that they argue about every fucking political cycle? Or and also offers said white bitch a reason to vote for an all-out fucking racist or against you while they claim they're your friend and they don't have any issue with black people, but will go right into the voting booth and vote against your black ass because they're pro-life? Give me a damn break. I'm over it. I'm over it. So something has to be done. And we have to be over the likes of anyone who has melanated skin that does not agree 100% with the shit I'm saying. That's where we're at, everybody. It's 100% compliance or take your shit. That's where we're at. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. We've put up with everything else for too long. And as I've told you a million times, if I've said it once, if you want something you never had, you've got to do shit you never did. That's what's real. You were not going to get anything else unless you do something that you have not done. What we have not done is we have not fucking divorced ourselves of any and all said Negroes who don't believe and think 100% of the shit that I'm speaking, thinking, and saying. We've not divorced ourselves from them. We must. We must divorce ourselves from white people. Period. The fucking end. Because they are the virus. Language is important. So you have the whole nation, let them tell it, marching against white supremacy. You understand? Or racism. But the word needs to be white supremacy. That's even more telling of how important that is the fact that the white devil wouldn't denounce the shit at the debate. If they had said, do you denounce racism, he would have given a straight answer. Of course I deny racism. Of course I deny racism. It's the worst thing ever. Of course I deny it. And this yo-yo shit that he does. But when you say white supremacy, but I don't want that. I want white racism. Because that describes it. White racism. Forget the supremacy bullshit. Because it's all one big tower. You take one fucking Lego out and the whole thing collapses. But the thing holding it up is white racism. And then under that bullet A, one, white evil, white, just white, and then go on down with everything else. But it begins with white racism. Because that's where all racism flows from. Everybody else is responding to their shit. Nobody else is racist. But forget everybody else, as I've already said to you. It's about us, black only. And so on this topic of white racism, or racism in general, we don't have the propensity to be, or even the privilege, or the ability, if you don't like privilege, we don't have the ability to be racist. But damn it, we can be prejudiced all day because we watch their bitch ass what they've done to us since fucking 1431. I think we should be clear. You understand? So who sees a pit bull and runs and somebody says, you're prejudiced against pit bulls. You're prejudiced against pit bulls. You're prejudiced. This is the basic level they think on. Go watch some of the people they interview at some of these fucking Trump rallies because that represents whiteness. I tell you, he represents whiteness. He is the definition of whiteness. The definition of whiteness. So it's important that you understand how ridiculous they are in their thinking and petty and elementary they are in their thinking. So we have to get that elementary too. Do you understand? And so we have to understand when I say something like, when you say we make the exact equation, it's not even just an analogy or a parable. We make the exact serious intellectual statement, we'll call it, that when you see someone who would run from a pit bull, we should say to them, you are prejudiced against pit bulls. You're prejudiced against pit bulls and dare them to defend themselves. Why, Jedi? Why do you say these things to us? Because anyone sees a pit bull or a snake, a rattlesnake, a cobra, a demet python, a boa constrictor, would say, oh my God, it's a pit bull, and you run. If you then come to them and give them a evaluation, a review of their behavior after the fact, and you say, why did you run from that pit bull? 100% you will hear the following. I was bit by a pit bull. That's just one of its own. B, pit bulls are dangerous on its own. Not I was bit by a pit bull and they're dangerous. No. And you can have that combination too in part 3. But I'm just trying to say, there's already an understanding that that animal is fucking dangerous. Has a propensity for violence. And you have stories. So, I, as an African, most Africans, because there's a difference in white thinking and African thinking. So, my previous question was an example, but it was almost rhetorical as it relates to African people. Because we would never ask that. But a white person would probably ask that. Why'd you run from the pit bull? You see, we know why you ran from the pit bull. You don't need to explain. We don't need to. We know why. So I'm trying to tell you that same principle, especially given our current day, because it's not some historical event that we read from, centuries ago and many generations, and it was then, and oh my God, and it was over. That shit is one continuous pathology, one continuous act, ongoing perpetration of this evil against us from the moment of encounter. You understand? From then till me is what we must understand. So we are in our right, and indeed it is our lives depend on us saying, devil, white devil, dangerous, run, go, get the fuck away. Because you and your whole society is doing nothing but fucking up my life. That's why. That's why. I don't need to trust you. That's not my responsibility. That's work your people should have done many generations before I existed. Then maybe I would have come to earth trusting you. But I don't. Again, James Baldwin. To be a conscious Negro in this society is to live in a state of rage. Let that be the opening statement of my resume and indeed my obituary. Let that be it. So, when we have now Ice Cube, he is articulating, saying, I'm not for anybody. I'm for African people. And so, anybody that's trying to get on board with this plan that we're presenting, that's who we'll hear. We're not here for your politic. We're not here because we like you. We won't really give a fuck what you did or what you got. Are you going to do this? That's what we're about. That's what he's saying. So you need to be clear on that. He even corrected Chris Cuomo in the opening because they ran a little opener before they brought him on camera. You know, to sort of give you a review of him and what he was about and ha ha ha. And when he first came on, he said, you know, your lead-in was a little was misleading, Chris. And then he checked him on it. Random side note, appreciate that. So it must be on purpose now, because every time I've been seeing him now, Ice Cube has a full beard, and he has on, I don't know if he's trying to do, because look, Nick Cannon, Ice Cube, anybody's trying to do this, call your boy, call the Jedi, you understand? Call me. But even Nick Cannon has started turning his turban to the side. You say, you need to call me, feel me? Just, you need to call me, and we can work some things out. You know what I'm saying? Like for like a little fee, probably like $250,000. But that's not even. You see, just the point is just to get him there. But anyways, he's wearing a beard and he's got this. It's not even a skull cap, so it's definitely something on purpose. And I don't know if Ice Cube is one of the people that I understand has been exposed to Islam or not. I don't care. The point is that the way what he's speaking about right now. Any African man, that's what you need to be looking and sounding like. That's what it needs to be. You understand? We're tired of these little sissy boys and motherfuckers that can't fucking grow a hair on their face or refuse to, and you just look like a bitch, and you're up there talking like a woman, and we're just over that, you know. And I'll even say, no shade, just when it comes to us being represented, we need some force. You understand? We need some real masculinity and some seriousness, because image matters. You understand? Image matters. So it may seem like a small thing to you, but it's not. Just to make my point. Ice Cube's up there talking about this and saying it. All right? Now just imagine if it was Billy Porter. Which one is even going to move you before you get to the White Devil? Which one's going to move you? Billy Porter or Ice Cube? I ask you this now. You see? So there's a point to be made. Staging matters, everybody. Imaging matters. Impressions matter. You understand? In any atmospherics, you know, and we could even use the word negotiation here, you know, or demand. You know, somebody shows up your door trying to get their $20 back from you, and it's Nick Cannon, or it's Ice-T. Which one you're not going to play about giving their damn $20? Who's going to make you go, man, I get your money when I get it? Ice-T shows up at my house, even if I don't owe him money, I will find it and pay him. Let us understand. So, this contract with Black America, because, and then we must also understand that then Killer Mike's fat ass has another thing, and he already knows he's in conflict because he opens his statement by saying, you know, we all march into freedom even if we on different buses. No, fat ass, because consistency matters, everybody. I tell you, there are things in life where there's only one way to do or say or be. Small parable for you. I come to your house, the door is locked. I gotta have your key. There's only one key that opens that fucking door. Or one that's exactly like it. A copy. You understand? That's what I'm saying. So when it comes to us and our movement, we must be unified and one. You can be an individual only when it comes to how much toilet paper you use when you go to the damn bathroom, what type of food you eat, how long you sleep, whether you like to exercise or not, what kind of music you listen to, and all that bullshit. But when it comes to African struggle in this bitch, you must be singing this song or you take your shit. But there's Killer Mike with his Bank Tulsa. That's fine. But your language is concerning to me, Killer Mike. And you need to take killer down. Because you're just a fat something that's not very killer to me. I could take Killer Mike. I could do it. And I'm not being funny. I could take him. But we have to be over these conciliatory Negroes. Even Donna Lemon, I think she was wearing Chanel last night. It was Vera Wang. I'm being told in my ear that it was Vera Wang. Chanel and Vera Wang. Okay. But there was Donna. And her skirt got into a wrinkle because she's laid up with a white devil. So his critique of Ice Cube, we can never have it be valid, even if there's truth in there. Jedi, what did you just say? I thought you said we accept truth no matter where it comes from. I do say that. But some truth is just not needed because it's so prevalent. You know, it's like you got a glass of water and somebody wants to give you another cup. You're like, no, my glass is full already. I'm good. Like, I'm good. I'm good. Appreciate, but my glass is full. I don't really need no more water. I'm good. This is that. So there was Donna, and she was saying that she eventually got around to where she should have been, but weakly and without conviction. And what she was essentially saying is it shouldn't matter if you are descendants of slaves or not. That you should just be, you know, if you're a black person in this nation, then that should just be the requisite. That's the crux of what she was presenting, you see. But the critique that she went through before she landed there was what had me in a fuss. Because, as Malcolm said, no Negro can ever speak or lead anything. Any Negro who's in an interracial relationship with a white person can ever be part of or certainly lead anything having to do with the cause of Negro people, because they will always be forwarding a position that allows them to feel comfortable in that fucking relationship. Period. And we have to turn the light on these people who are in these damn interracial relationships. They're not all born of evil. You understand? You know, atmospherics, situational circumstance can lead you to said white devil bitch or said white devil man. I get it. You know, if you're Tiger Woods' kids, you're certainly only going to grow up, well, you have a white mother, so strike that analogy, strike that. Suggest facts, not evidence. Move to strike, I'll redirect. If you are Will Smith's kids, Jada is from Baltimore, Will is from Philly. Your kids should be black. You understand what I'm telling you? And yet, they are not. You see? So, and due to their economic circumstance, they then, instead of you building around you, you go and spend $25 million or $50 million for one fucking house, instead of saying, you know, I'll buy a $300,000 house, which is a very nice house in most states in this fucking country. I'll just go and buy a $500,000 house. Why not splurge? $1 million. Why not? Why not? So you take that $1 million and you buy you a fucking house. And then you redevelop at least 6 more fucking blocks of your own neighborhood with the other 24 million. Nobody's doing that. You see? So if you have a Will Smith and a Jada, and so then they just love everybody because they've not this segregation that I'm talking about. You see, they believe we all go together. Well, fuck you. If you didn't run the race, you shouldn't be standing at the fucking medal ceremony. We were all just trying to get to the goal. We were just all trying to get here, and it was just, no, bitch. I just ran from wherever all the way to right here. So take your shit. You see? Everybody wants to come in and be a part of our shit, but you don't have the requisite. You don't have it. You just don't have it. So your efforts are not sincere because they would have been consistent without us and without our presence, and they've not been. So this also illustrates to us that they're not genuine. But if you have children that grow up in a white environment because of your economic status, notice I see economic and not economic social status, because they still Negroes. Care how much money Will Smith got, don't matter. That's still a black Negro in this bitch. You understand? Just white folks love him. But if Will Smith, he could still be Will Smith. He spoke just like the Jedi. They would not want to have shit else to do with him. You see? As long as you play that nothing's wrong and everybody's happy, and like you're not living that state of rage that James Baldwin spoke of and all that shit, oh, they're fine. And then you never see their propensity. There's that again. You see? So then you start proclaiming there's good ones. It's not all of them. Wow. Welcome to the Magic Act. Welcome to the Magic Act. So we can understand if then you have Jaden show up with a white bitch, because that's all that was around him. And his parents, there's only one other barrier to that. So your atmospherics shouldn't matter if your parents are instilling the right things in you. You understand? So that you could live in a lily white neighborhood and not be interested in a white bitch. Nope, I'm waiting on a sister. That's just what it is. Because that's been installed in you from birth. But if you got fucked up as parents, you're not going to get that. You see? So there it is. The atmosphere has been created by them, let us be clear. By them, that I speak now to say to you that the time has presented from them. It's time for the rest of us to make a decision. You understand? For those of us who are shacked up with the enemy of our people, they have a decision to make. You're with us, or you are with them. There is no middle ground. There can't be. The times are too critical. And it's this middle ground shit that keeps us in a state of inferiority in their society. And I stress in their society because we are not an inferior people. Indeed, we are superior in every way. Even the divine says that no man is greater than the other except his fear of God. Certainly we fear God more than any white people. That automatically makes us closer to the divine. Period. So, Killer Mike has this other thing, but his language is inclusive, so we don't like that. The idea is good, but it's this whole include everybody else. So as soon as you stop saying black people and move to poor people and start naming, it should stop after black. There should be a period, and then the next conversation piece of that. Not any other identification of any other peoples. That's it. Black only bitches. That's it. So this is what makes him problematic for me, and that's my problem with any African people right now or anybody speaking that inclusive bullshit. In fact, Ice Cube even cited diversity. He was like, we're not about diversity. We're not about any other groups. We're not about, he named like groups. He said, we're about black people. I loved that. That's when I got my entire life, y'all. I think I saw my own birth. We're checking the video. I think I saw my own birth. That's how much of my life I got. I saw my mama pop me out, and I said, wham. Actually, I said white devil. Yeah. That's on record. That's on my birth certificate. Well, there it is. It's recorded. So there you have it. You saw the evidence. You saw it. So you have it. I'm going to go through this contract with Black America, everybody. Hold up. What I'm not going to do is sit up here and torture myself in the heat right now while I'm trying to do this. Most times I do that, but you'll just have to work with me. I'll try to keep my voice up, and you'll just listen a little louder, you'll listen a little closer, and turn your volume up. Now, there's two pieces of this. There's the full 22-page contract, because in its entirety, it's 22 pages. But there is and you should go with me now. You go to contractwithblackamerica.us. Yeah, contractwithblackamerica.us. So if you want to read along with me, all right? Because when you go to that, when you scroll down, it'll say official summarized contract. We're going to go through that first. But when you scroll down, it says, there's a thing for you to click on where it says view full 22-page contract. It'll be a big orange thing for you to click on. All right. So what I did is I used my hotspot on here. I pulled it up. Once it all loads, I turn my hotspot off. So it's just on there now. If I don't, close it out or something, I have it. So I can scroll and read everything. I'm brilliant, right? So I have both those up. I have the contract with Black America. I just gave you a contract with blackamerica.us, and then you will see the official summarized contract, and then we'll go through that so we can get some of the bullets in, the main points in, and then that way we will have used the time wisely, so that if we start to get long, then I can fault out and say, and then the rest is just more explained in the 22 pages. And we'll scan that, but we'll start with this the summarized contract. Let me see if I can see who's here first before we get started. Oh, let me also say this, everybody. To everyone who, again, another thank you to everyone who donated to the campaign, the GoFundMe, and the Cash App. As you guys know, the GoFundMe is no more now, and we reached our goal. And Allahu Akbar. There, you can still donate to the Cash App, everybody. My Cash App is the Jedi 1814. I'll tell you why. Because there's people who wanted to donate to the GoFundMe but never got around to it, or just to the campaign in general and just never got around to it. You can still donate. Secondly, it's because there are other costs that are popping up that I hadn't figured in, and I really don't want to spend a lot of money on this side, on the American side. My money that I raised and that I saved is supposed to be for Africa. The expenses that I inferred in my cost is now being breached by the cost of the fucking corona test, and then here and there. And then also I've decided that I also want to buy a decent drone. Why, Jedi? Why would you ask us for this? Because, you guys, part of my documentation is that I want to be able to use all the tools in my toolbox, and a drone would be really good. I've looked at drones. They're not expensive for a really good one. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on a drone. I've seen drones for like $150 that are really good. I need one with a camera on it that you can get those aerial shots, because some of the videos that I watch, it occurred to me, how are they getting those shots? They must have a drone. So your boy, several weeks ago, I bought a $15 drone at Walmart, bitches, just to learn how to fly it. And then in all the research that I did, everybody was saying you should have some kind of a starter drone just so you learn how to operate it. So I would like to be able to get a drone as well. So, and then there could be some other unforeseen costs that I have not inferred, or that don't exist now, but that could exist later. I don't know. So anyways, whatever reason you need, you can still donate on the Cash App. My Cash App is Jedi 1814. Now, I wanted to see who's here, and then we're going to get into this first portion. And you can pull up this so you can read along with me. Contract with blackamerica.us. I assume there's a www in front of that. Don't ask me. Where's the video? Where am I at? Oh, here's something else I need to tell you guys. A few videos back, I told you that I was putting, some of the stuff I was putting over on Brand New Tube, the other platform that I'm on. Well, they have a maximum of 1 gigabyte is the size of a file you can upload. I've been trying to upload files that are way smaller than that, and they're saying file too big. So some of the stuff that I promised you, or I even advertised for you and said, you can just, it's not on here, you can go over to Brand New Tube and watch it, make sure you subscribe to me over there. You get over there and it's not there because that's the reason why. So I've been forgetting to tell you that publicly. So I don't know what's going on. I need to contact them or do something to figure out what's going on. Because, I had one that was like 2 or 24 megabytes or something, literally. And then I compressed it even in my compressor so I could make it even smaller, and it still was saying file too big. But right after this, it says file too big, maximum 1 gigabyte. Okay, it's under 1 gigabyte, so why are you not, you see? So I don't know. White man is the devil, and we don't run Brand New Tube, so we have to infer the evil of white people on anything that happens to us in this society, period. Because we still have people walking around and things happen and they go, I was just confused. I even saw Tamara Mowry, who is laid up with a white devil, recounting a story of her and her sister back when Sister, their comedy was a big thing. And there was a magazine, she wouldn't say the name of it, I'm sure it was Teen Magazine. But they wouldn't put them on the cover. And she was like, and we didn't understand because we had the biggest show that was on and we just didn't understand. Bitch. Do you know what country you in? Do you know what color you are? Her mama is dark as this right here. So what are we doing? But I use her as an example. There are too many Tamaras walking around, whether with somebody white or not, that aren't understanding. You first infer race on every fucking thing. That's the first inference. That's the first thing you need to test it with. It's like they pull you over, they find white powder in the car. They don't go and see, first we'll check to see if it's flour. No, we don't want to check cocaine, but we have to check flour first. And then we'll check sugar. And then we'll check something else that's white. And you're like, bitch, check for cocaine. That's what we need to do. Check for cocaine first, bitches. Now, who's here? My queen, Shiro. Greetings. And also my moderator. Greetings to you, Shiro. I've been waiting for you. Thumbs up, everybody. Yes, Shiro says it. We have one person that needs a thumbs up, but otherwise you guys are doing really good. We have one person that needs a thumbs up. Again, I'm sitting here. I'm giving my time and my energy. We're all adults here because I've set the setting for it to be 18 and over. Act like an adult, everybody. Act like an adult. Again, if we want something we never had, we have to do shit we've never did. And that starts by us doing the little shit that can bring us together. The littlest thing. Now, Corindal Sadiq. Big shout out to you. And I read your comments, Corindal, so sometimes if I don't get to answer back, I tell you guys this all the time. I read everything. So even if I didn't get a chance to answer you back, know that I read it. And a lot of times I try to at least send a heart so that you at least just to acknowledge. Well, if he put a heart, he read it. I won't put a heart if I didn't read it. I have to read it. So, big shout out to you, Corindal. Sean Scott, big shout out to you. Laurel Bryant, shout out to you. DeJewel Suber, big shout out to you. Black Beauty, good to see you, big shout out. Anna Han, shout out to you. Yeah, no cremations with Muslims. Anna Han. No cremations. And you've provoked me now to share something else, just quickly. You know, before they knew there was such thing as a fingerprint, everybody, we already have the description of the fingerprint being described in the Quran when it was revealed nearly 1,500 years ago. and specifically to what Anna, I'll call you for short, is saying, so that Allah has compensated already for those who would die by fire or be dismantled or dismembered, or you're ground up by a meat cleaver or something. In the Quran, Allah says, when He talks about bringing you back on the great day, that we will perfect you down to your fingertips. So at the time of this revelation, even the prophet it was being revealed to didn't know what that meant. We now know Allah is saying the fingerprint because no two are the same, not even on each hand. So He's saying, He's speaking so directly, and you have to also know the Arabic words, and then it really gets you. But in this trashy ass English, I'll just say that He's saying He wants you to know you. It's very personal. You, like you're the only person on earth, just you. I know who you are. And so Allah is saying that on the great day of reckoning, when you are brought forth again, He will perfect you down to your fingertips. It will be you. So, and then Anna, you go on to say, India is on a caste system. The dark Indians have low self-esteem. Black people have high self-esteem. We know we are worthy. That's so true. And I've seen documentaries in India and how they treat the Africans even. And it's a whole thing. And we know how they treat us when they come here. The punch I drink, you guys, the store that I buy it from, it's run by Indians. One of them, when I walk in, he knows I'm Muslim. The way he greets me, the way he treats me, it's all gravy. The other one has a shitty attitude. The first time I told him off, but I was kind of delicate about it. That's why I say I know you have to show your fangs in order to get result with some people or situations. It doesn't matter. But not too long back, I was in there yet again, because that's where I buy my punch. And, they, across the country now, there's this thing with bags where you don't get a bag. I just bought my shit and I'm going to carry it out of my hand. Like, I'm over it. So he's asking me, do I want a bag? And he does this every time I go there. And I was really heated that night because I'm always on fire. But something must have had me especially riled up that I either read or saw. And I had my sunglasses on. I pulled my sunglasses on. I said, listen to me. I said, yes, I want a fucking bag. And every time you see this face, I want a bag when I come in here. And this is not the time to be fucking with black people. This is not the time. Your business could be a threat. Don't you know, when I was there even just yesterday even, when I'm 2 people back, he looks and sees me, he already gets a bag and opens it and puts it to the side, ready for my bitch ass. No games. No games. None at all. But yes, I'm aware of India and their goings on. But I love them as a people. Even my doctor, who is a brilliant man, I love him. I love his humanity. I love his family. I know his wife, his children. And he's from India. And, but yeah, they do have the issues. Kiara Irvin, big shout out to you, my sister. Wise Owl, Ice says, Ice Cube is on point. Black people only, not everyone else. No minority, BS, no one but black diamonds. Exactly. You understand? We just have to claim our shit. Because if your house breaks out on fire right now, 3-alarm fire, who goes outside their house and starts spraying the neighbors' houses next door? Just show me who does that, and I'll just end the video and shut the fuck up forever. Well, we have to spray everybody's house. That's what we're doing. When you say that shit, I need you to understand just how ridiculous you are, or how ridiculous other people are when you hear that. If you're the one saying it, or if you're the one hearing it, I need to define for you right now how ridiculous that is. It is exactly that parable that I just gave you. You know your house is on fire, and you jump out of bed, grab some clothes, and go outside and start spraying the houses around you. And they're not on fire. That's what we're dealing with. Black only bitches. And I see Sean was even saying, word up to you, Wise Owl. Andrea Smith, shout out to you. No, this is a new. This phone is newer. Like Anjane 23 got this phone for me, you guys. Allahu Akbar, Rahim Allah to this sister. And this is just a throwaway phone that nobody needs, but it only heats up when I get on here with y'all. So I have this running blame that I must assign to y'all. Like, it's y'all. You understand? Because it's the only time. I never have any other issue with this phone. I just don't. It doesn't do anything. There's no problem. So I know it's y'all. Damn it, what's going on? Okay, jump now. Where am I at? I go back to Andrea. Where's Andrea? Where you at? 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 Thank you, Shiro. Remind again, everybody, you can still donate to the Cash App, the Jedi 1814. Wanda Wisdom, good evening and big shout out to you. Says exactly, one, sexuality is really private. James Baldwin never led with his sexuality or orientation. He nor Audre Lorde. I confess I don't know who Audre Lorde is. They led with their above-board intellect for the liberation from oppression. That's so true. I didn't even know that James Baldwin was an alphabet until, I don't know when I learned that, but I was like, I didn't know that. I just didn't know. Because I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, that's not my issue. And that's my issue with their whole issue. I don't need to know. And you don't need to be telling. And you don't get anything special for that. Take your shit. I'm consistent. Wanda says for all black oppressed people. Exactly. And their white evil hand extends across the earth. So yes, our other brothers and sisters are definitely entitled. Now, we can say order of entitlement if you'd like that. Certainly we're, I would say, if you come in with a paper cut, that's why they have a thing called triage at hospitals, you understand? Like, not you, bitch, you just got a paper cut. Nope, not you, heifer. Nope, okay, you, back there with the gash in your forehead. This way, room 3. Wanda Wisdom says, being hated for hue is really a far cry different than any other type of oppressed entity. That's just so true and basic, just even when we start with just that detail. Just that alone. To latch the oppressed wagon to ours, again, based on hue, it feels like being wronged again and again. I love you for that, Wanda. Yes, very insightful comment. Thank you. Well stated as well. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Light Bearer, big shout out to you. Georgia B. Whale, big shout out to you. And many of these people, I know many of you were donors to the campaign. I just want to say thank you again. Thank you, and thank you 100 million times. Thank you. And then Wanda goes on and says it's really to undermine what they created and named racism, so they allowed other groups form of suffrage to attach their pain wagon to the racism wagon. Huh? Right. And it's just to convolute the issue so that you have to focus just on us. That's why I've been so clear and so passionate and so rantish when we have these protests and marches. I've said you cannot have white people marching with you. The image that needs to go around the world is African people in the streets and not women and children. That should be African men. That's the image. You have thousands of people in the street. Oh my, there are thousands of people. It should just be black men only. Period. But the moment you have these little fucking white devils in there with their backpacks and their skateboards and all of it, you just ruined it. You just ruined it. And not only that, you've now allowed for violence and infiltrators and all that kind of thing. You understand? And then you end up with the white mascot on TV saying they're a radical fascist violent group and they're this and the third because their white asses are the most violent, inherently violent thing on the fucking earth. Even Dr. King said America, because when you say America, that's synonymous with white people, is the greatest purveyor of violence on the planet, end quote. Lightbearer says what they call hate is what they took from us and suppress. They lie and teach that hate is not nature. They lie and teach that hate is not nature. Balance is knowing when to love and when to hate. They never want us to know that. Exactly. That's everything. And you know I preach that too. You know I totally agree with that philosophy because it's not philosophy, that truth. Because, exactly. Like when they tell us, and just to even jump off of your point, to say that, you know, when they say, well, let's go back to the brothers that went to Starbucks that time. That the white devil bitch called the police on. They hadn't done anything. They were waiting there for a meeting. And we kept hearing, I'm so glad they just remained so calm, and they were just so calm, and that's what pissed me off the most. We should have been reading that white bitch's obituary and how she was mangled around the throat area, and we just couldn't identify her face. You see, this is akin to that. They teach you that you're righteous, the words that Lightbearer used, your natural, I think I was employing the word natural, your nature is to strike when struck upon. We see this in animals even. We see it. So they are telling you that that very natural inclination is not right. And that's what she's articulating here. I'll just read it again. What they call hate is what they took from us and suppress. They lie and teach that hate is not nature. Balance is knowing when to love and when to hate. They never want us to know this. That's so true. That's so true. That's so true. And they don't want you to think that all of them are bad, so that you should righteously despise all of them. Because even if you haven't done anything for me, I know your propensity. Goes back to the pit bull. I've never been bit by a pit bull, and I won't go near the bitch ass. Lightbearer, they can't survive our love for ourselves and hate for them. And that's why you see every fucking commercial is somebody black hugged up with somebody fucking white. I'm over it. You go on. They need us for genetics. Wanda, Tupac said he had zero tolerance for any black person that doubted him. Exactly. That's it. And that's another thing I share with Tupac too, Wanda. I've said many times, you know, I didn't really, I knew who Tupac was and all that stuff, and just like anybody else. But it wasn't until 2005 that I sat down and watched, what's the name of it? Tupac Resurrection. Allahu Akbar. All knowledge is with Allah. And I would talk out loud to the TV anyway, but I just was saying the whole thing. I was like, man, I'm sorry, man. Like, I was wrong about you. We really could have been brothers, Tupac and I. I mention him now in that way because of what you just said, because he said, because I'm that way. Like, you know, when he said that, when the first time he got shot, when Puffy and Biggie's fat ass shot him, he said, I just never thought a black person, another black person, would do anything to me. I've been an ambassador for my people, you know, and I'm down for my people, and that was the thing that got him the most. This is why I knew his principle base, you know, because he had that much belief in his own people. Like, somebody might fuck with me, but it's not going to be my own people. They're not going to do that to me, you see. And just to go a little further, I loved when he was on the Arsenio Hall show, and he said he couldn't talk about the case when he was, the case for the sodomy and all the bullshit, it was still going on. And Arsenio was bringing it up, and he was like, I can't really talk about it. He said, but you know what? He said, but Arsenio, I'll tell you this. Just that a black woman said that I took anything from her is the thing that killed me. That was embossed on my being when he said that. Because I'm in that same space. So it's like, say what you want. It's what you're saying about me is worse. What he's articulating is what you're saying about me. This is worse than what the crime you're saying I did. That's another thing. That what you're saying is bad, but this is what's got me. That there would be any insinuation that I would take anything from a black woman is the issue that he had. That made him king for me. Done. Done. I miss that brother. That's why I say Tupac was assassinated, Biggie's fat ass just got shot. I said it. Lightbearer, they're pushing interracial relationships and LG. Yeah. Are you LG? Are you insinuating the alphabet people when you say the LG? Yeah, LG. Yeah. That's what, because you put a slash, and I assume you mean lesbian and gay. Black Ice. This whole piece is irritating. Like, I'm all for not fighting. I'm even anti-war. But at this point, peace is not an option anymore. Period. Exactly. And I'll forgive you your typo that you didn't proofread before you hit send. Because I'm going to read it out loud. So proofread. But I still take your point. And that's exactly what I'm saying. You know, we're beyond that, everybody. And I've been trying to, for years, articulate the urgency and the fierce urgency of right now. Because they will continue to seduce you into thinking the hour is not urgent. No, the fire is just on the curb near your house. It's not even at your house yet. It's on the corner, like a little patch. It's not even. Meanwhile, your whole fucking basement is raging already. No, it's not even in the basement yet. It's not even. I mean, you're in no danger. You should just go back to sleep. Meanwhile, there's a fucking firewall right outside your bedroom door. That's what we're dealing with. No more time for footsies and playing games with these goddamn people. In your life as an individual and us as a group. Lightbearer, they are cancer, yes. And I say anthrax, and a scourge, and a stench. And I've got a few other adjectives I can use. Siri, call it king. Thank you, Siri. Big shout out to you. Wanda says exactly. It's inflexive to run from danger. That's sane. These or self-preservation is man's first law, a reflexive law, precisely. Because who amongst us would not back away slowly from somebody who we saw put their hand on a hot radiator that we knew was like 200 degrees, and they were just standing there chatting, and you'd be like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, and that's a really good point, as you're backing the fuck back to leave. Do you understand? Because we'd be like, how come you're not, no. Damn it, I'm only at 52%, but I'm at 22% here. Oh, it's getting critical. It's getting kind of hectic. Fangs, ferocious fangs, run, Wanda proclaims. We noticed Ice Cube's full beard too, and wondered, well, hopefully I've offered at least a intelligent hypothesis on it for us, Wanda. You know, because, and by the way, Ice Cube still looks exactly the same. I'm over it. That's the story. All right? It's not the contract with Black America. It's why do you still look like that? Why are you a warlock? Have you found the fountain of youth? He still looks exactly the same. He hasn't even gotten any creases here yet. He's just deadpan, and it's what I say, and that's what it is. He's able to articulate himself so well. Remember, he's a lyricist. He writes lyrics, raps no less. You gotta be quick. You understand? So he wasn't flustered at anything this Chris or anybody else is going to throw at him, quite frankly. And I hope our brother doesn't stumble at all for us. But I think that his beard is on purpose, and not because of some damn coronavirus. I think it's on purpose, and like I say, that's really makes it even more of a statement. The fact that he's wearing that thing on his head. I hate to call it a thing, because but I don't know what it is. It's not a Scully cap. It's not a kufi. Wait, y'all. I'm hearing something and I shouldn't be. Anyways, whatever he's doing, that's what we need. Because for me, it's always the whole picture of everything, And so certainly when somebody like that's on TV, like I'm being represented. So how are you representing me? You understand? I'm really not doing a good job representing my damn self right now. So let the record show that. I look just like my grandma right now. Wow. So random, but not. It's my queen. Queen of my everything. Wait, can you see? It's my grandma, y'all. Queen of everything in my life after the divine one who creates. There will never be any human that has more meaning to my existence than that woman. My love will never be equivalent to anyone on earth than that I had and have for her and that she had for me. I will never be loved like she loved me. I won't. It's not possible. It's not. It's not. She's everything. Everything. Siri, I heard Q for the first time break it down today. Ashay. Yes. Well, thank God you heard him. And we're going to get into this contract. I just want to try and get through to the list of you all's comments. Anna says Farrakhan never sported a beard. At least I have not seen pictures of it. I'm glad see now y'all know listen. I tell you guys, my live streams are a two-way street. One of the premier reasons why I do these is so that we can be together in real time and you can ask me anything. And for me in life, everything is always a teachable moment. So I want to get to this, but there's value in what I'm saying and in your comments and what we're discussing right now. So I have to say this. Farrakhan does not wear a beard, and neither do any of the men in the Nation of Islam. I have articulated the truth that they are not Muslims, everybody. God love them. They are our brothers, and they are worthy of honor. But that does not make them Muslim, because there is no I'm kind of Muslim. We're kind of. You're the Muslim or you are not. That's it. There is no in between. Now, you could be a bad Muslim. That's your struggle. That's your jihad. But you can't be something else that's not Muslim and proclaiming yourself Muslim. And you say, Jedi, why are they not Muslim? They say they're Muslim. They can say what they want. I'm also related to Oprah and sole heir to her throne, but I'll get into that. All right, they're not Muslims because with Christians, there are literally, not a made-up number, there are 40,000 denominations of Christianity. There are 534 versions of the Bible. Christians don't agree on anything. Nothing. You can just do whatever you want. There is one Islam. There is one Quran. That's it. And so, whatever you're doing as an individual, you don't get a chance to go outside of the living, given, revealed word of the one who creates. Not according to, and according to. You'll never find that in Quran. This is your maker speaking directly. And when you read it, you know that. Nobody has to tell you. So, they believe that, and God love them. And I love Farrakhan. You guys know that. I love him, and he loves his people. And it will be a very sad and empty nebula that will be left when Allah decides to take him. I don't even want to think about it. I love him. He is necessary. And he knows he's wrong. Because they believe that a man, a white devil, so you'll never get the truth out of that, a white devil by the name of Fard Muhammad, was God, astaghfirullah azim, that the divine came as a man, astaghfirullah. They believe that. That is against the very Tawheed, which is one of the principles of Islam, the oneness of Allah. Tawheed, oneness. Now, but forget all that. The divine himself in Quran says to mankind, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Qul hu Allah hu ahad. Qul hu Allah hu ahad. Allahu samad. Lam yulid wa lam yulad wa lam yakuluhu kufuwan ahad. He is Allah, the one and only. But Qul is a proclamation. It's a tell it, do it. It's a command. It's the way the word is. It's not even up for objection. It's absolute. It's you must, you will, or else. Qul hu Allah hu ahad. He is Allah, the one. Say He is Allah, the one and only. The only eternal, the self-subsisting, eternal, absolute. Lam yulid wa lam yulad. He begets not, nor is he begotten. Wa lam yakuluhu kufuwan ahad. And there is none like unto him. He is one. The moment you say that Allah has come as a man, you are not a Muslim. You're not a Muslim. Take your shit. DeJewel, Ice Cube. Yeah, you guys were answering my question. I love you for that participation, ladies. Well, DeJewel, Wanda, and Sean. But thank you all for that. This is responsive. I love that. Wanda says Tiger Woods' mom is from not Tahiti. I'm inserting the us. Name another local that began with a T. And I'll just add, I'd like to buy a vowel for 300, Alex, if I could just... Oh, y'all ain't got no vowels, because I'm black. Y'all out of vowels. Oh, see. You see how they are. You see how they are. I asked for a vowel. Was going to buy it. Can't get a vowel. Oh, Thailand. I love your shadiness. And the sarcasm. I love that. I love that. I love that. Siri. Skirt in a wrinkle. I can't. When I was talking about Donna. Wanda, not for nothing, but did they ask Jada P.S. to share her Red Table Talk success with Miss Gloria E? I'm so glad you bring this up because I just saw their red. I cannot. Did they? Did they? I can't even read it because I love the shadiness of it. Did they ask Jada P.S. to share her Red Table success with Miss Gloria E? No shade to she, the latter, or Jada, but golly gee, really? If so, they couldn't create their own type of talk show? Question mark, question mark. I love that. I know, I was like, how come y'all didn't get like a yellow table or something? Like, I'm not really, but that's not even, but that's not. So, yeah, that wasn't lost on me. And I enjoy Glorita, you know, and her daughter looks like she went, no, no, that's fine, Emilio, and just spit her out. Her daughter looks just like her. And I always love when I see any parent whose child looks exactly like them. It's like it's enough of a blessing for Allah to give you a child, and then they look exactly like you. That's the kiss, everybody. I always tell you, Allah gives you a gift and a kiss. That's the kiss. That's the kiss. Anna, their safety may be in jeopardy. That is a good idea, but Nipsey Hussle didn't try. Clarify, because I got several things out of that, Anna. I'll tell you what I got. When you say their safety, I'm thinking you're talking about Fat Ass Killer Mike and Ice Cube. And then you said that's a good idea, but Nipsey Hussle didn't try. Are you... Because, you know, Nipsey was doing some things, and that's indeed why he was assassinated. But maybe I'm not taking your meaning, so clarify. Wise Owl to Wanda Wisdom. Don't be shady, Wise Owl. Trust me, but, you know, you guys that have been with me, you know, there's been times people come here and they're just dominating the damn chat, and I'm like, you know what, you need to just stop typing is what you need to do. So it hasn't gotten to that point for me, Wise Owl, so I'm good. Shout out to Daryl Eiffel. And then sometimes what I also do is if I see too many, then like right now I want to get to this. So I'm going to just start skipping because I want to start seeing names I haven't seen, you know, so I can get them shouted out. Shout out to Chigs. Big shout out to Chigs. Sweet D. What's up? Big shout out to you. Señora Mendoza. ¿Cómo es su clases de español, señora? Black Cherry Punch, bless you, Jedi. You already know. I'll read this Siri. FYI, definitive proof COVID-19 is Asian, Euro, Neanderthal genetic DNA. So what with U.S. BP dying off? What's with U.S. black people dying off? Oh man, we'll come back to that. Shout out to Righteous Indignation. You say, Indignation, when you said DT is the very embodiment of whiteness, I've analyzed this too. We'll just call him the Orange Puff, all right? He literally embodies white supremacy, arrogance, narcissism, belittling, hypocrisy, etc. He is the last Trump to blow. Yes. Shout out to Adrian Matthews. I love you back. Shout out to Ya Best. Tupac shoot and injured two off-duty police devils who were harassing innocent black brothers. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Thank you for reminding and bringing that up, Ya Best. That brother, I saw so much of myself in him. We would have been like this. I believe that had I known him. Because I know how, I just know that to be true. I just know it. I know it. You know, even when, who was it? Somebody tells the story. Anyways, he wanted Tupac to do something that you would normally pay for. He wouldn't charge black people for shit. He would do it. He would just do it. Like, I'm not going to charge you. You're another black man. I'm not charging you. Like that's somebody was telling the story. If you walked into a hotel room to see Tupac, and he was on a laptop, and he was there to do business with him, and he was asked, but this was one of them situations where Tupac was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna charge you. Like, you're another black man. Like that's just what it is." You feel me? That's what we need, man. That's one reason why he had to be killed, everybody, because we can't have somebody that visible talking like this. That's why I've had 2 fucking shutdown channels. You understand? Because the white devil does not like the truth. Because they're always on the shitty end of it. Because they don't know righteousness at all. Frankie Cardona, what's up to you, brother Jedi? What do you do when you fall in love with a white girl that has just as much soul as a sister? First of all, that's an oxymoron, Frank. No white bitch can ever have the soul of a sister. A black woman is the first woman. And indeed, the true woman, do you understand? No, to even mention a possible equality of soul or character between a white woman and a black woman is absolutely insulting and indeed blasphemous. And so, to otherwise, and you should just run from the white bitch. You shouldn't be falling in love at all, because you don't fall in love. Love is not a word. It is a 60-page stack of shit that's all single space pages, double-sided, might I add. And so love is not something you fall into. The first love is love of self. You can't fall in love with a white woman because the first love you know is a black woman. That's the first heartbeat that you hear besides your own. When you come forth, that's the first scent you smell, is the scent of a black woman. The first one to kiss you, touch you, hug you, hold you is a black woman. That's who's nurturing you. That's the first voice you hear. That's who raises you. That's whose character you're most defined by, and everything. Then you grow up and then you leave and say, I fell in love with something that's exactly not me. The first love is the love of self. To be in love with a white bitch is to show a lack of knowledge of self and definitely a lack of love for self. It's just not possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. But thank you, Frank. Anna, the idea of putting $20 million into the hood you live in sounds good. However, the safety of those persons will be in jeopardy. Nipsey Hussle tried it. No. Because when there's equity, there's no violence. Any of these people out here doing any type of violence, usually, first of all, let's say this. We have to be aware that a lot of the violence being perpetrated in our communities is being done by white people. That's first. That's just real. That's what's real. And so the one or two bad actors you may have in our community is usually economically voked in some kind of way. You understand? Once black people have money, they good. No more need for violence. You understand? Unless they're trying to keep up this gang bullshit persona. And then that goes back to the black mother first. Because if you can't honor the first right of a child, which is their right to come into the world to 2 parents who are able to fully take care of them, period. So if you can't feed the baby, then don't have the baby. That's where it begins, before they even become a sperm seed. The selection process. So that you have 2 parents. You immediately disrespect the child's first right when you have a child with a man that you know is not going to be with you. And your instincts are stronger than ours. You know he ain't shit. You know he wasn't shit. And you still laid down with him. And you still let him nut in you. And you still had the baby. You understand? And then you've bought into, after the fact, as the child comes forth, you're putting them in front of cartoons. You're not teaching them. You're not giving them this essence that I'm expressing as a human being. So they don't have any of that. And then you send them off to school after the cartoons. And they get indoctrinated by that. And then you don't want to spank your child because white people have convinced you to against what has worked for us for many thousands of years. We discipline our children. We just goddamn it do. Because there's always been a pecking order of respect to the elders in our culture. And once you start befriending your kids and they just get a timeout and shit, now you're relinquishing the power. So you create the pathology that they end up in gangs or whatever they end up doing that's not on the right path. So it's a whole thing to it, you know. No, so lastly, I would say, Anna, we definitely don't do any neglect to do anything out of fear. Fear needs to just go the fuck away. You build the shit and you deal with motherfuckers that would cause a problem after you build the shit. But we're supposed to just not have it because they could potentially be violent? I understand where you're coming from, but I have to say this though, because this is where we need to be. You understand? We have to vanquish fear as a people. Because I tell you, if you fear anything other than the one who created you, you do not know the one who created you. And he is the only thing or one worthy of your fear. That's it. Yes, it works in the UK, Chigs. Cash App is universal. Like it's on your phone, so you just do it. Okay, we're gonna move on now, you guys. I want to come back because I'll get into these, but we'll never get to that. Oh, I have to say this, wise out. It does, because again, we have a way of life as Muslims. You don't just proclaim yourself a Muslim and then you just do the fuck you want. There's a way of life. So, as one of the things ordained for men is that if you are able to grow hair on your face, you grow it. Men should look like men. That's why Allah made it that hair will grow on your face. There's a reason for that. So, but they go out of their way to be clean shaven. I know the reason behind it, but I'm just saying. And I wasn't really knocking that because the issue that I cited is the main reason why they're not Muslims. So before we get to their fashion statement, you see, but that's fine. But since you bring it up, I'm happy to address it. Yes, Muslim men wear beards. We just do. You understand? And it doesn't preclude you from being a Muslim. Absolutely, you're right. But again, if you're able to grow hair on your face, you're supposed to do that. That's just what it is. Because the one who creates in his infinite wisdom knew that we'd be at a time like today where you see a dude sitting in front of you that claims they was born as Karen or some bullshit. You understand? And all these alphabets and all of it. Allah has ordained that a man should look like a man and a woman should look like a woman. That's just what it is. So now we're going to go to this, at least this first part of this contract with Black America, because they have, it's thorough, and all I could think was, man, it goes back to unity. It doesn't matter what we conjure or dream. If you cannot get African people to understand that you, even if you don't know what's going on, you just need to shut the fuck up and get on board. We have to get to that. Because white people do that shit. Quite frankly, everybody. But they're our nemesis. So they do that. They just get on board. You understand? As much as I hate the fuck out of Trump and anybody who says they follow him, they all need to die a very horrible death. I respect their fucking loyalty. They will follow him into the gate of the fiery pit of hell. I have to respect that. Because that's what we need to do. We need that. We need that. Now, official summarized contract. Introduction. Because they have 13 segments here. At least on the opening page. And the official summarized contract. As citizens and lawmakers both, we are joining to demand the contract with Black America be addressed immediately to finally create the more perfect union all Americans deserve. I'll just try not to throw up with that all Americans nonsense. But I understand the context and I'll just read on after I have a sip of my punch. So I don't bomb it. As such, it is time for a complete paradigm shift in how we run our institutions and operate our country. The problem facing America, plural, the problems facing America are too deep and wide to simply reform one area or another. Long-lasting solutions demand a comprehensive, thorough rethink of America so that each new approach in each area supports the success of the others. This contract with Black America will provide conceptual approaches in several areas. Derek Hamilton, in the preface of the contract, says, quote, "This contract with Black America strikes at the heart of racism and presents a blueprint to achieve racial economic justice, period." I can't get past that period. I'll go to the next one and I'll come back. It was written in the backdrop of the killing of George Floyd, which set off a wave of protests not seen since the civil rights era of the 1950s and 60s, and a global pandemic in which the black mortality rate is more than double that of white devils, my word, not theirs, in which 45%, nearly half, of black-owned businesses closed. I gotta stop because I have to go back and address this other piece. And let me say this before I even go on. I already see now, given the time, we're going to do this subject in sections, everybody. So, Allahu Akbar, today is Saturday because I can commit to do another half tomorrow. We're going to go through this contract to do a dissertation. My agenda, my goal, my endeavor is that we go through this contract so that you can say you know the fucking contract and that we've discussed it and we fully understand it. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this. And so I have to bring issue when they said this contract strikes at the heart of racism and represents a blueprint to achieve racial economic justice. You will never have that, so stop trying. White people are evil, and they have shown and continue to show us they're willing to hold on to that evil at all costs. So that's fine. So we're not interested in that. We're just interested in our shit. We don't need racial justice because you're never going to have it until they die off the fucking earth, and then you can have racial justice. We just have to be clear about the shit. Don't seek what you cannot find. And don't seek shit from someone who's not empowered or even willing to give it to you. You're wasting your damn time. The impact of something presumably random, such as a pandemic, however catastrophic, can be so linked to one's racial identity is highly problematic. And further evident that as a nation, we are failing miserably. I know they're being nice because this is a proposal and all that, but a lot of this stuff is just in conflict with my very being. I'm reading words that I fucking hate. Do you understand right now? So I can't. So you understand my torture, let me cite it for you. The last paragraph. That the impact of something presumably random, such as a pandemic, however catastrophic, can be so linked to one's racial identity is highly problematic. No problem. And further evident, as a nation, I'm over that bullshit, we are failing miserably. We're not failing. And this is not our nation. Language matters, everybody. How you think and speak is how you goddamn react. This is not us. We're not the problem. We're not failing. It's some bullshit. You understand? Like, let us be clear about this. The nation's divided. No, white people are just fucking out of their mind. Nobody else. No, the nation's not divided. We're just. Things are just so. People are just so. And fuck that. Everything that's happening has been precipitated and being incubated and perpetuated by fucking white people. We have to understand that. Don't link me to shit that I'm not guilty of. This links a larger, funny that's the next word I read. This links to a larger political and economic vulnerability. Whether we are in a pandemic or not, the immoral devaluation of black lives has been ingrained in America's political economy and is long overdue for a reckoning. I just object to the word America in there because America means white. And again, how you understand something is how you speak about and relate to that. So imagine if I read, the immoral devaluation of black lives of Africans has been ingrained in white political economy and is long overdue for reckoning. In fact, any place where the word America is at, I'm putting in the words that need to be there. All right. This contract with Africans, I will take out black. This contract with Africans, because we're not Americans and we're not black. So I don't even see us being identified here. I just don't see it. This must not be for us because nothing here describes me. I'm not an American and I'm not black. So what's this contract for again? I'd like to buy a vowel. Still no vowels. Listen, I was in D.C., everybody. And I remember one of my buddies, I lived in Maryland at that time, and I was taking my buddy Marcus home, and it's the first time I ever experienced a red light camera. I didn't know there was even such thing. And I'm definitely afraid of thunder and lightning. And it wasn't raining or thunder and lightning. So I'm like, the fuck? And Mark's like, man, that was one of the red light cameras. Fast forward, your boy is at the court. A sister, we'll use that word very carefully and in quotations. But there was a sister that brings you into the room. And now they have the snapshot of my damn car. And there it is. My car at that time was Gertrude. My car now, I call her Princess. I had a Subaru then, and I have a Honda. But yeah, there was Gertrude. But she had such a shitty attitude. I didn't like the bitch when I first seen her. But she made the mistake. Your boy's good with law. There's my car up on the screen. Do you identify that as your car, sir? I said, actually, I can't be sure that's my car. I can't make out the license plate. So and she looked at me with a look that she wanted to kill me. But she dismissed the ticket, bitches. My hand to Allah. Dismissed it. So I use the same thing here. I don't see myself being identified there. So I can't confirm or deny anything. I can't confirm or deny anything. 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 I have to work on my white dude. Old white dude. Middle-aged. Politician. Maybe in business. I can't confirm or deny anything. Arrogance. I can't confirm or deny anything. Double chins. I can't confirm or deny anything. Liar. I can't confirm or deny anything. I don't know. I'll work it out. Anyways, so we're going to use the words that need to be here. This contract with Africans is a patriotic pathway to promote our shared prosperity. I'm not sharing prosperity with fucking white people. This is a statement. This misstates the facts. Hear this. And again, I'm going to be critical of it, but I understand why they write it like this. Because they're asking the white devil to, do this contract. But that I can still object to the shit. Now, hear that. This contract with Africans is a patriotic pathway. That's some butt licking out, and I think it's creative, and I like it there. But then, to promote our shared prosperity. No, there wouldn't be a need for this fucking contract if we had all this shared fucking prosperity, bitches. And achieve racial economic justice. End quote. Ambassador Andrew Young, who I've met, is equally supportive. Quote, the pandemic has revealed to us the importance of the essential worker, of which many are minorities. Again, this is a contract for African people. Why don't you say, of which are African people? You immediately fault out to minorities. Fuck that. Then you allow wiggle room. If you can't say it, you can't. If you can't see the fucking target, you can't hit it. If you can't name the target, you can't fucking kill it. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Oh my God. We're not going to get through this, everybody. We're just not going to do it. It can't happen. Andrew Bitch Ash Young. The pandemic has revealed, because we didn't know it, it was just such a revelation, to us the importance of the essential worker, of which many are minorities. We can grow no stronger without improving the sustainability of those at the bottom of the economic pyramid. The contract for Black America is a comprehensive step forward, an action plan that addresses the future stability of minorities and essential workers across the nation, end quote. I'm over it. You see, I just added a whole busload of other motherfuckers that don't have the requisite, they don't have the fucking the fucking wristband to get in that I've already cited. Show me your middle passage, show me your lynchings, show me your loss of language, show me your loss of religion, show me your loss of unity, show me your loss of, show me, and then we will happily put you on the bus if you can't take your shit. To address racial inequality, after reading the contract with Africans, we, the undersigned agree to support and demand an open debate on a clear and fair vote within the first 100 days of the 117th Congress in 2021 on the following proposals to be codified into specific bills. Now, that was a very strong ending opening paragraph. The ending paragraph is the most strong of the entire opening, and that's the entire opening. I'll just read it again in case I missed something. This is the final paragraph. To address racial inequality, comma, after reading the contract with Africans, comma, we, the undersigned, agree to support and demand an open debate and a clear and fair vote within the first 100 days of the 117th Congress in 2021 on the following proposals to be codified into specific bills. Love it. Should have said at the beginning of the fucking thing. Instead, you opened with, as citizens and lawmakers both, we are joining to demand the contract with Africans be addressed, not activated. So you just double spoke on your own ass. You're demanding an address. Again, no vowels. All right, fine. To be addressed immediately to finally create the quote most perfect union end quote all Americans deserve. Should have led with the opening paragraph should have been replaced with the last paragraph. All right. Then they have a thing here for you. Oh, I can't click to go on, so we have to go directly to the contract because I'm not hooked up on the hotspot right now, and I just had that opening page. So if I click on anything, I'm not going to get anything. So that's perfect because I already had the full contract open. Now I have to go to it. So all right, that's fine. A contract with Black America. This contract, I think that's part of the opening. Overdue for reckoning. Okay, authentic agency is grounded. Okay, authentic agency is grounded in resources. And white people's unjust racial wealth, because we're replacing the word America with white people. And white people's unjust racial wealth gap is rooted in a history that has privileged white people, it literally says white people there, with financial advantages to buy, quote unquote, crucial, additional, and intergenerational advantages for themselves and their children, their fucked up ass children. Government policy and literal government giveaways provided them with the finance, education, land, and infrastructure to accumulate and pass down wealth from one generation to the fucking next. In contrast, black people have largely were largely excluded, and when they were able to accumulate land and enterprise, it was subject to seizure by government, complicit theft, fraud, and terror. I want to just stop and say this. No, die off, bitches, because that paragraph, I don't even need the whole paragraph, because we have a whole NFL out there that we fucking own by default. We have an entire NFL out there. What is it, 32 teams or some bullshit? And I'm not a sports fan, and I learned it. But I'm just saying. But we will make this demand, but we can't get motherfuckers to walk off the fucking field. Do you understand? And the court and shit. This is our problem, everybody. There's some shit we could do on our fucking own that would send shockwaves through this fucking white devil. But you want to sit here, and so far it's a very nice proposal. It's been getting high reviews, and that's all great. But you're asking for shit. That's like if you ask me for a ride, you live next door to me, I'll never see you bitch ass get off the couch. I'm not taking no fucking place. But oh my God, I see you walking. Every time I see you walking, I'll pick you up. Oh, dude, so-and-so's walking again. I'll just pick him up right now. Let me just give this a ride, whatever. This is that. At this hour, if we just want to say fuck everything else and just only say we only ever saw 2020, we don't know anything else. No, nothing happened before. I was born in 2020, and everything that ever happened on Earth happened in 2020. That's it, and that's all I know. Okay, fine. We'll go with that. Now, in 2020, where are these bitch niggas that can't walk off a fucking football field and a goddamn court? Do you understand? We need to seize this bitch. And, by the way, all their millions that they have? Where is the fund, everybody? Even this shit that Killer Mike was talking about setting up. We could have had that if all these millionaires, instead of seeing Beyonce and Jay-Z on some $1 billion fucking yacht, how about you just get on $100 yacht? Or a fucking dinghy, bitch? And why don't you, why isn't there just like a fucking fund that's set up? You don't need an official bank. Just, if I was wealthy, I wouldn't need a bank. I would just have, say, go to this site that you could set up for free, and go to this site, and if you have some kind of issue, put in your information, and maybe your last tax return, so we know what your real holdings are. You have to get some, because we want to get to people who really need it first. Once we have made everything and you must be African. This ain't for every fucking body. Nobody, and you must have a picture of yourself. If we got a squint, you ain't getting shit. You either black or you not. Period. Gotta draw some fucking lines, everybody. If you want something you ever had, you gotta do shit you never did. And so when you upload this picture and your information and all of it, then we just dispense a goddamn check to you. That's just it. It's done. What are we waiting for? We can send it to your fucking Cash App. What? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? And then now you want to go before the government of white devils and ask them for their money, which is duly ours, but this is a both and. You can go to them and say, we want our shit, or else. I think there should be an or else clause on this shit. Sadly, there's not. I think. We'll see. But where is the calling by, a lot of these fucking people that have money can call a lot of these players directly, bitch. They've been at the same soirees and things. But no, Jay-Z wants to be able to watch the game. You see? And John Legend wants to be able to watch the game. Fuck a game. And I never understood, first of all, it's anti-intellectual. It's a waste of time. I don't really understand sports unless you're the one playing it. For exercise and a sense of teamwork, and go play sports, go out there. But as a fucking institution and something you're supposed to give your time over to and buy fucking paraphernalia and shit, I'm over it. And it's concerning to me, especially in this delicate time of black masculinity, that this is really the crescendo of what's been going on for many generations. You put your son in front of the TV to watch football, but I see men in tights, bitch. Why can't they wear something else? They're literally in tights. They're called tight ends and wide receivers and shit. This is gay. This is how you think and speak. All that shit is just fucking gay. It just goddamn it is. And it leads nowhere. There's no reason to be a sports fan or to be into it unless you're the one playing it. There's no value in it at all except for fucking white people as an industry. That's why you have fat white men telling thoroughbred looking ass black men how to play a fucking game that they never played in their goddamn life. And this thoroughbred ass king is, I love Coach. Coach is the one. I'm getting worked up. We're not going to do this. I can't. Let me find a place where I can say I'm going to stop at. Oh, we'll just go to the end of this and we'll be over it. And then tomorrow we'll pick up the second segment where it says a contract with Black America addressing racial equality. So this part we're reading now is the preface. We'll do the preface and we're going to be over it. I'll look at your comments and we're out, everybody. Because I'm going to have to be, I can't. I can't. But I hope you can understand the dichotomy that I just articulated for you just right now. How does that look? How could I, even if I was one of these fucking people, a NFL or an NBA player, even talk about this? Because I'm on a team, and I know I'm not doing shit, and I'm getting millions of dollars. I would kind of want to be like, don't say nothing. Don't. Let them go ahead. Go, y'all go. Let Keisha and them go. You see? Because you could be exposed. Because by what I'm saying, why are we asking for a fucking contract with this white devil's seed of the devil, and our own people won't give shit? There should be a specific, but there's something going on. that we need to know about? Why isn't there a coming together of all these people with all this money? They can come together for a fucking song and shit like that. But where's the coming together to say we have a fund set up for African people, black people only? We're going to help our own fucking people and that's it. Where's that at? Why haven't we seen it? Why? There's no one that you can point to that is famous, that is doing anything that I'm articulating. If you know a name, give it to me because I want to know it right now. There's a problem, everybody. There's a problem. There's a problem. So this is glaring. I need you to keep that in mind as we go through this. This is glaring. Because here we are, ooh, the contract of Black America. But I'm here to say, wait, bitch, look over there too. You see? Don't forget about that. Them niggas over there ain't doing shit for you. And they could. They could. I almost threw up. A good friend of mine, I mentioned her recently. They were, in fact, I was going by and watching a house because her and her 3 children, she finally got a chance to take the kids out of town and take them across country and to visit family and all of that. And I'm supposed to be excited when she comes back showing me all these Jordans she bought. I was sick to my stomach. Oh, those are so nice. I'm so glad you got those for the kids. And I'm so glad you got those and you spent this much on fucking Jordans. I don't feel that way. It's an outrage. It's an outrage. It's an outrage. It's just, you know, that's why I preached long sermons about defining education, everybody. To me, education, fuck a school, bitch. Your kids shouldn't be in fucking school at all. If they don't know, A, the white man is the devil. They should know we all should know about our current existence, immediate history that is pertinent and urgent to their current circumstance, but also ancient history, if we're going to call it ancient. They should know, they should have instilled in them the demand of black first. You never strike another African person. You never lie to them. You never undermine them. You know, these are things that should be ingrained. You will not bring home somebody that is not African. We will never accept it, and we may kill you. There are things that need to be installed before they do any fucking thing, and that you must always, if you persevere in this society to get money, you only get a portion of that money. The rest of it you must give to and disperse to your people. You must. You must. You must. I told you, as Muslims, you will give a 2.5% of your excess wealth. You're not allowed to just sit and holding up on money and shit. And that charity is the right of the poor upon the rich. So the divine has already established equity for mankind. But fuck everybody else when it just comes to us. If we just establish this shit ourselves. You understand? But you don't know what discipline is. You see? Because everything comes with a requisite. So the discipline is one of the requisites of everything I'm describing. Otherwise it just becomes a fantasy. So if you live in a neighborhood where there's nothing but a little Arab fucking grocery store, you need to have the discipline to say, I'm never going in that bitch. Give a fuck how far I gotta go. I'm not going in there. They will not have business here. That's what it looks like. It looks like you saying, I will never, all black people. See, because when you have a leader, this is the shit you get. So you would have a leader, because that would just be the mouthpiece. Not somebody just coming up with their own, ideas and shit. It's like, this is how we all feel. I'll just say it for us. Like when somebody dies, one person speaks for the family type thing. This is that. So you would have a leader standing up saying, all black people are now hereby ordered that you do not participate in any more sports in this bitch. That means all players as well. And just like he can signal to the fucking Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. All my Crips, all my Bloods, all my gang members, y'all motherfuckers unleash on these motherfucking professional athletes and shit that won't get in line. Period. Boom. We Googled, we know where their address is at. This way, we just start going down the roster. Just going down the roster. Either you try and play, you're going to have a problem, bruh. So that's what's going to happen. So that's it. You got to be able to enforce the shit that you need to happen. You understand? And sometimes you have to make motherfuckers do shit that's best for them when they just can't do the shit on their own voluntarily. I know this to be true. That's what we do to children. Get up there and eat your vegetables. I don't want get your ass up there and eat the damn vegetables. Get your shit. Don't make me have to get my belt out. Because now you're making them do something that's good for them because it's good for them. Because they won't do it on their own, so I'm going to make your little ass eat the damn vegetables so you don't end up malnourished and I got to take your bitch ass to the hospital and we don't have health care to take care of your little ass, etc., etc. This is that for me. I just want to get to the end of this. The contract, did I read this? The contract with Africans understands that this disparity is dramatic and that changes on the margin won't cut it. To reverse decades and generations of discrimination, we need a bold overhaul of our laws and economy. And we also need an overhaul of our own bitch asses, as I just articulated. This contract rejects the racist and unsubstantiated rhetoric that ignorance, so-called grit, and personal responsibility are the sources of racial disparity. In other words, it's our fault. Or pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Along with the accompanying neoliberal neoliberal paternalism model in which government attempts to coerce or incentivize insinuated defective black people, end quote, to behave accordingly and make better decisions. It is abundantly clear that the racial wealth gap has nothing to do with black behavior and everything to do with white fucking privilege. I love that. So as a nation, we are finally ready to reverse our enduring and immoral blight of racial and our enduring and immoral blight of racism and authentically live up to the creed, quote, that all men and women are created equal, end quote. I do not know, but we have witnessed across all 50 states and pretty much the entire globe civil protests shouting with solidarity that Black Lives Matter. Younger generations and social movements may be redefining economic good to embrace the principles of morality, humanity, and sustainability. This contract with Africans is a patriotic pathway to promote our shared prosperity, that word again I hate, and achieve racial economic justice. Over it. So I think we'll put a period there, everybody, because this is lengthy. It's 22 pages, and I need to be able to expound upon this, but I had to deal with other things at the beginning, and so otherwise we're looking at least an 8-hour video right now tonight, and we're not going to do it. I'm happy to do it, but we're not going to. And especially if we don't have a damn charge. Wait, y'all. I'll just go through your comments and then we're going to be over. But we have to go through this because I want to understand, and for anybody that's new, the Jedi never reads anything in advance, period, the end. Anytime you see me reading anything on this video, anytime you ever see me anywhere, I'm just seeing it now for the first time. Because it's not just to go through the information, but it's also to teach you and show you how I discern and how I process information and things that are brought to me or that are put in front of me. This is how I break it apart. This is how I digest it. This is what I do. So that you will do the same damn thing. Because that's one of the other things that we must start to do as a people. is to dissect shit. You understand? Dissect and scrutinize everything, because you are not a citizen of this bitch, and most things you're going to be presented with have not been created by you, have not been produced by you or anybody that looks like you, and not for you. That's why it's important to first start with a skeptical and jaundiced eye at everything that comes from these people. Whether they write it, read it, say it, it's a movie, it doesn't matter. It's immediately some bullshit until we do the dissertation. That's how you have to think. It's just got that to do. 1%. One, bitch. One. I'm over it. Let's see if it'll turn on. At 1%. I'm over it. You know, the divine helps those who help themselves, everybody. People are inclined to help you when you are doing something for yourself. That's just real anyway. And that principle carries. It's transferable across all scenario. If we were really doing everything, if Oprah's bitch ass had some shit set up with all these other people that we can name that we know they have money as individuals, and you know you're strong in a group, that's why I say it's nothing we can't conquer. It's just you have to conquer our people's fucked up asses first, and then you can get stuff done. If you can break that DNA chain that's just embedded in fucking black people where they just can't fucking get it together, you break that shit, behold, the heavens open and you will see God himself. It's just breaking through that. I can't even, that's everything. So when you see these dumbass athletes, you walk off the field for 5 minutes, bitch, and the next day my ass hasn't even gotten dry, and you're back on the fucking court again, I'm over it. You can't basically understand you have more power by not playing? I'm so over it, I can't even articulate it. There's not even a word. I can't. And as I speak, you have talented young boys and girls out there whose dream is to go into the NBA and the NFL. Not to own the bitch, but to go into it. So just the cycle repeats. Somebody has to be killed. The cycle has to stop some kind of way, everybody. Things have to be upset sometimes in order for you to go into a different trajectory. That's why I'm praying for the destruction of this bitch. America needs to be completely destroyed. Completely. And everybody who leads it, state, local, and goddamn it federal, all need to die. I just saw a clip from Trump's fucking town hall Trump's Live Fest, as it were. And there was a sister, oh my God. She stands up and displays her eternal ignorance by asking the question, what will you do as the mother, as an educator and the mother of a black son? What would you do to ensure the safety and the relationship between police and the fucking, and fuck you bitch and sit your bitch ass down? Go back to your fucking town and ask your mayor that bitch, because they can fire the fucking police chief. So you're asking the wrong person. Oh my God. I can't. I think I'm going to go from the bottom up. That way, anything that comes in new, I won't read it. I just start going up. Um, Vince Oxmori, shout out to you. Well, now you just put another comment, and so now I have to read your other one. Before 1960, the number of teenage pregnancies had been decreasing. Both poverty and dependency were declining, and black income was rising in both absolute and relative terms to white income. Then you say the point is that we have experienced a total reversal of all these measures. Again, much ground has been lost. That's the damn truth. It's the truth. You add to that white collusion, you add black triflingness, because I just don't have the other word right now. Black patheticness, black fucking fucked upness, and then you just have the whole soup of it. You know, some of this is on us. It just is. Damn it. I love that series. Utter destruction and take Canada as well. I love that. Oh my god. Going up. Vince. Ever since I won't read yours because I'm just gonna go up. If people have multiples, I'm just gonna, but that was a new name, so I'm just gonna move up. Black Ice, are you part of we, Vince, or are you just on the trumpets who want to be heard? Okay, I'm seeing your name a lot, and I saw, who was it, Chigs? Who's Chigs? Alright, Shiro, hit the X on that. Bring down the hatchet, my sister. Yes, queen. I don't need to read anything else. My people have spoken, and that's enough for me. And then I see Wise Out. We just got an infiltrator, so I'm getting many signals here. Yeah, Shiro, make it happen. Make it happen, queen. Wise Out. Jedi, take into consideration sport, contract. They can be sued for not showing up for work. Old adage says, don't cut your nose off to spite your face. Utilize their power smartly. No knee-jerk reactions. I love you, Wise Out, but that is just tired and vomitous. And you're not the only one that says that, and I'm just sick of it, hearing it, and I'll make my case of why I'm sick of hearing it, and I'm over it. The worst that when you have all of those people doing the same thing, they're not going to even have just the way it will look will be, to try and bring in litigation for breach of contract. So that's out. And no magistrate in the land will really want to even hear the case because because everybody knows the state of our being. And they're not making any ground by being there. They all have $100 million contracts. So I'm not concerned about their livelihood, because maybe you don't get to live in a $200 million fucking mansion and you just get a $600 a month apartment and be good. You understand what I'm telling you? Get rid of your Bentley and drive a 1997 Honda. How about that? And I could just go on. Do you see what I'm saying? So that has been said, and I've even heard people say, just to add to that, well, they have to feed their family. How much fucking food is their family going to eat? Do you understand? So this is not, no, they need to walk out. They've played enough. You understand? They played enough. And what my overall point to say is that because money is the god of white people, when you have a firm walking out and refusal by athletes, they will give whatever the fuck we ask for. That's what's real. They're just never going to see it because they're too bitch ass to stay out of the game for more than 5 minutes. Either they're going to shit or get off the pot. But thank you so much for your comment, Wise Out. And to everybody I say, this is a two-way. So you don't have to agree with what I say. But why I exist. If everybody thought like me, first of all, our people would be liberated already and we'd be in a better place. And there'd be no need for me to be on this platform. So bring any objection you want. That's fine. I don't mind that. But it's also a teachable moment. So that's just not valid. You know, and as someone who, with a business degree, who absolutely understands contracts and reads the fine print, and nobody in my business law class could ever beat me in an oral legal argument. So I take it in context. So, but nah, this is just about weak ass black men, and and not just black men, but just another carryover of the character of black people in general in this nation, with their lack of fucking discipline and self-discipline and just willing to fucking make sacrifice and shit. Everybody's got that me, right now me, you know, thing going on. And that's toxic. That's part of what's killing us off, dude. It just goddamn it is. I'll just pick comments now, you guys, like anything that's so that we can land. I'm putting the gear down. And we'll pick this up tomorrow. I don't want to totally expend myself tonight because then I'll be tired tomorrow and I won't want to and I can and I don't want to. So I should conserve. I love that comment, Wise Owl. You were saying to Anna, you say, no one believes this more than I. We are gods amongst men. Yes. KRS TV, shout out to you. You say, I applaud Ice Cube for taking the initiative to introduce policy to end systematic racism, but it needs to work. And it must be for the black African Americans, because our ancestors built this nation. Pay up. And I'll just add "goddammit" to the end of your statement because it just feels like it needed to be there. Pay up, goddammit. And yes, and I would just only, again, how we think and speak. And you say, and he said, you say, introduce an initiative and a policy to end systemic racism. As long as white people are breathing, there will be racism. So we should just forget that goal and go around that to get something greater and just pray for their deaths. Their hate is their entity. So we're never going to get rid of racism. Just won't happen. And I logged that objection somewhere in my talk earlier, as I would always, because that's how I feel and think that would be a constant answer for me. Anna, Tashawn Scott, I usually don't read you guys' back and forth, but you say step over the trash, throw out the trash, never talk to the trash. I love that. Sheep don't play with lion. Snakes don't swing with monkeys. I can't talk for too long. Too much gold to try on. It's their jealousy. Don't jealous me. Oh man, that's a few things. I'll read it again. Sheep don't, this is a Wise Owl. Sheep don't play with lion. Snake don't swing with monkeys. I can't talk for too long. Too much gold to try on. It's their jealousy. Don't jealous me. Oh, are you a poet? You better go, Wise Owl. Kenneth Stallings, what's up, my brother? So good to see you, man. I'm so out of the loop, Kenneth. It's so good to even just know that you're here. I miss you. And, you know, in fact, I was bitching with DirecTV. What is today? Saturday. Because I wasn't going to pay my bill. I just, so, you know, I'm not paying it. I'm just not paying it. Because I've been meaning to bitch them out because my channels have been disappearing. Because one minute I have owned, the next minute I don't have owned. Then I have TV One and I don't have it. I have BET Her, but I don't have it. And there's other channels that just disappeared. To me, that's a breach of contract. This shit I had when I started paying you. So when you change the fucking contract, you probably owe me some fucking money, bitch. Me being who I am, the bill was up to $150. I was not paying it. And then they cut your boy off. But that's when I go into action. I talked to 7 people at DirecTV over the course of 3 or 4 hours. Go and watch the video I did called How to Get What You Want in This Society. When I got off that phone, my cable was on, I gave them bitches $90. Don't fuck with me. Don't do it. Because I use their own fucking game against their bitch asses. You can get anything you want in this society, everybody. It just takes a little bit more of your time. That's real and 100% guaranteed. But so good to see you, Kenneth. And I don't have OWN, so I don't know the shows, and I'm over it. And I haven't gotten a chance to get to your channel in forever, and just so good to see you, brother. Many blessings to you. Juanita Mott says, I became disabled. You were talking to Siri, said, I became disabled because of a pregnancy, and my husband got another pregnant, and came out of the closet, damn, and left us. Never ever judge a mom unable to provide. Wow, that's the truth. That's the truth. So, but no, that's a natural situation. Stuff happens, you know. And y'all Christian folks, 60% of your marriages end in divorce because you think you know what love is, and you're starting out, you're not picking the right partners, and blah blah blah. But you know, there's things that happen, you know, that derail the right of the child and the ability for them to have the proper rearing and all that. This is an extreme. This is one of those cases that Juanita is articulating. We can allow for that. Again, I can tell you, 2 things can exist in the same space, both and. Everything is not either or, and this is one of those. You know, and you know, we give high marks to mothers, to black mothers, because even if you got the perfect family, you're still raising children against the fucking odds. You just are. You just are. And our women really are Wonder Women. That's just fact. Wise Owl, I don't grow facial hair by nature. Does this mean I can't convert to Islam? I already answered that question, Wise Owl. There are many Muslims who don't have a beard, and they can grow one. Do you understand? So this is not, you know, I think the divine would rather have you submitting, but again, you're missing my bigger point. My overall case was to just articulate, that was just like an and by the way, because you brought it up, but it's the most insignificant. The fact is the Nation of Islam is not Muslims because of the most critical thing that I articulated for you. And they have their people thinking that Elijah Muhammad, after you get, because that's why everybody names themselves Muhammad, it confuses their followers. They don't acknowledge the prophet, the last prophet sent by the one who creates, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The one who, by the way, I'm doing a whole piece. We're going to go through the Gospel of Saint Barnabas, everybody, okay? Especially for my Christian folks, to blow your hair off your head when you understand who the Son of Mary who really was by his own damn mouth, and not this vomit the white devil has sold out to you. So my overall charge, Wise Owl, was just to articulate the Nation of Islam are not Muslims. And then somebody else brought up the whole facial hair thing, you know. And I was citing Ice Cube's beard because that's usually a sign of a Muslim. You know, like I can see our women when I'm out in the public. I know if I see a Muslim woman. But there's things about a male that I have to see that will let me know if he's more likely Muslim. And one of those indicators, how we see each other, is our beard. You understand? Because again, we have a way of life. Juanita, like MJ sung it, if you can't feed the baby, then don't have the baby. And don't think maybe if you can't feed the baby. You'll be always trying to stop that child from crying. Hustling, stealing, lying, now baby slowly dying. Want to be starting something. Go ahead, Michael. I think one of these goes with it. Want to be starting something, get to be. Anyways. Jedi, you sidestep the Muslim beard bias. No, I just, okay, because I'm going back up, so I'm digressing. All right, we've already dealt with it. Frank, I'm on my way to your house, and it will not end well. You already know that. You go, I'm going to read it. You can't, I'm just going to play with you right now and let you get on my nerves. But, when you say, this was after the white bitch comment, and you said, but you never cared for a black woman. That's just not true. Because I don't care, not even Tiger Woods, or Cuba Gooding fucking Jr., or old fucking Jay, or any of these niggas out there that we know publicly that have white bitches, none of them have gotten anywhere without a black woman. It's not possible. No male or female child, but we're specifically talking about the men. No male black child can be born into this world and not be helped along by a black woman. It's not fucking possible. It's just not. It's not possible. It's not. It's not. It's not. It could just be a sister that you meet on your job. Maybe you ride the bus. It could be the sister that ride a bus. Somewhere there's a black woman that's going to touch your life and seriously affect it. Period. You don't just escape through this vortex without the influence of an African woman. It's just not possible. My life has shown me that. I know it to be true. I know it. I know it. So, I think I want to land it here, everybody. Damn, I said I was not going to do 3 hours. But I've also always say, you can't put a time frame on facts and truth. You just can't. You just can't. Shira, are you still here, girl? Do I have any other moderators in the room? Shira, get rid of this thing. Not Chigs. I see a lot of Chigs' comments are gone. Don't get rid of Chigs. It's this Vince person that has to go. Yeah, I'm seeing all the Chigs' stuff deleted. Get rid of Vince, not Chigs. Chigs, if you're still here, if I'll go in and make sure that I reinstate you if she's already gotten rid of you some kind of way. And that may not be true. Maybe you took your comments down. I don't know what's happening around. Because I'm like one of you when I'm on here. This is just another YouTube page that I've signed into to see me and y'all. That's my account is on this, you know. So like, whatever. Okay, Shira, I see you. Alright, but not Chigs though. Just this Vince Devil. What's the name? Vince something. Vincer Automori. Everybody's objecting to this person, so I don't need to read anything that they typed. And I never knew who they were. I don't know who they are. I never heard of them. I don't need to read anything they wrote. I don't need to. So, I want to say to all of you who came that we're going to reconvene tomorrow, everybody. As I say, I don't want to overdo this now. I didn't, but we'll get more done tomorrow because we're going to go directly into this. Because we went an hour or more, and then we started. You know, so I want to go directly into this tomorrow, and then we'll get maybe we get halfway through it. We'll make a lot of ground on that, and then I'll pause and get to your comments, because it's always important to me that I get your comments, and so we can have discussion. That's how we have discussion. I need to know what you're saying. Otherwise, it's just a recorded video and read your comments and say, "Oh, I loved it," or respond back to you. This so we can have this dialogue. You understand? And so we will do that, God willing. But as I say, I think that the time just was what it is today because of the way everything went, and that's fine. So that's fine. So we just know everybody should be in the frame of mind that tomorrow we just begin with this. And the only thing I have to say in my opening tomorrow is you need to go back and watch the beginning of the other one because I can't with you, And then we move on because we want to get into this. No worries, Shiro. I want to get into this contract because Ice Cube is putting himself out there to do something, and he means it. I've seen the passion in his spirit with this. It's not just a cause. Like, he's fighting mad for this right now. Like, he has the right attitude. And to me, like I say, what really locked it in place for me was when he was like, we're not talking about nobody and all these groups and diversity and, inclusiveness and all this nonsense. We talking about black people only. That's, you guys that have been with me know that I have screamed that from the mountaintop. Fuck everybody else because we just don't have time. We just don't have time. We don't have the luxury to give a fuck about anybody else. Our condition is too critical. We are in critical condition, and so we have to act thusly. The patient in the worst condition gets the attention first. That's it. You come in with a massive heart attack. Oh my God, you're in cardiac arrest. I'm sorry, we have to get to the white bitch that has she has a hangnail. I doubt it. I doubt it. So we are the people in cardiac arrest. It's us. It's us. Right here. Us. Right here. Us. So we'll reconvene tomorrow. Thank you guys all who came and participated in the stream. And who got through to the end now. You are the most faithful. And I appreciate you. And if you've never been to my stream, it's important when I do live streams, as I say, to have a back and forth with my people, to read your comments, and to and have discussion. So that's what it's about for me. And I take each one for just that. Okay, what you said. Now I'm gonna talk about that. Then we'll go to the next thing. I've been on live streams, or we've all seen live streams where the person, it's not really about their audience, it's not really. God love them, but it's not really. So that's just not my style. No shade, that's just not what I do. I am who I am. I just am, damn it. So I just happen to think the way that I do most things in life is the best way to do it. I really mean that. There needs to be more people like me on the earth. But sadly, I'm only one. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow, God willing. The Jedi has spoken.